he's still $40. So if anybody is ever around a convention and Mr. Bradley is there,
do it.
Meet this man.
Do it.
Take $40 of your money and meet this man. Give him your time and money because he deserves it.
And he was so sweet.
He was. Went up to him.
Did he have his Black Craft shirt on?
He did not. He had his Ghost shirt on.
Oh, sweet.
Which I asked him. I didn't ask him a horror movie question because I figured he gets that all the time. Like when I go to talk to these horror icons or whatever you want to call them, celebrities, I like to ask them kind of like engaging questions. And I'm a stalker, and I follow him on Instagram, and I know he went to a Ghost concert last week. And I was like, how was the Ghost concert? And he kind of looked at me, and he was like, it was actually it was pretty good. The sound quality wasn't quite there, but it was a good time. I really enjoyed it. He talked very soft and subtle.
Like an English gentleman.
Yes, which is what he is. I told him that last year at Blue Ridge, we had to pick between Ghost and Alice Cooper. And he was like, oh, definitely would have went with Cooper.
Yeah.
I said, yeah, we did too. I guess it was his wife beside him. She was more engaging with the music conversation.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like, she wasn't saying anything to anybody else, but then, like, when we started talking about music, like, she chimed in. Everybody loves music.
Oh, yeah.
And she was like, oh, that's awesome, because Lana was like, yeah, we would make sure to be front row for Alice Cooper, which, I mean, you was there, too.
Yeah.
And
it was one of my highlights.
Yeah, it was one of the best times I've had ever. And it was like, oh, it was amazing. How was it? I was like, yeah, puts on a fucking fantastic show, you know. It was worth the wait. It was worth the heat. And he was like, definitely would like to enjoy that myself. And I'm trying to think of what else. We pretty much just talked about music. We talked about like not liking really big outdoor venues versus enclosed venues. I didn't ask him nothing horror related. I showed him the Hellraiser tattoo that I'm going to get my tattoo artist to do. And he was like, oh, that's fucking amazing. He was like, oh, that's going to be badass. I was like, yep, can't wait to show you. I'm definitely going to meet Doug Bradley again. Just for the sheer fact of the conversation, how nice he was. He should charge more, but he doesn't. Lana actually got to meet him also.
That was honestly probably like the highlight of the day for me, because like everything you said, he was super sweet, such a gentleman.
Yeah.
And after you took the picture for us, I was like, I just have to tell you something. And I was nervous how he would take it, but I told him the story about how we were on the phone, and I was telling you that I was excited because I saw a shirt that Mr. Thunder's son would absolutely love. He's a huge Scooby-Doo fan, had the Mystery Machine van with a lot of the horror icons with it. And I started naming them, and I was like, it was Michael and Jason and Pinwheel. And I was like, wait, Pinwheel? And he just cracked up. Yeah. He thought that was the funniest thing.
Yes. I told him in our household he's forever known as Pinwheel. And he looked at me, he was like, I like it.
Yeah. But, yeah, so I got to make him laugh, which made me feel good.
Yeah, it was awesome. Then he was, like I said, $40. Then I got to finally meet. A lot of people would call him Jason. He's the second Jason I've ever got to meet, but he's the main one. Is Mr. Kane Hodder himself, the parade?
Mr. Kane Hodder, he is an absolute goofball.
He is. He loves fucking with people. I love it. He was fucking with a lot of people. If you don't know who Kane Hodder is, he played in Jason Goes to Hell. He played in Jason X. He also played in Victor Crawley. Also, all the Hatchet films. He's done the mocap for Friday the 13th video game, and now the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre video game. Just a horror icon. I mean, I feel like I forgot one Friday.
you forgot 2 Friday, part 7 and part 8.
7 and 8. Definitely 7.
He has done the most Jasons in history. He's done 4 in a row, which is the most, and that's crazy considering there's 12 movies and nobody,
has done it consistent.
Nobody has done it consistently in 12 movies. That's why there's so many goddamn Jasons to meet.
Well, I was going to say, has anyone, not just consistently, but has anyone done as many as he has?
No, he's done more than anybody.
That's why everybody kind of refers to him as Jason, is because he's consistently done it the most. If there's anybody else out there that, has their own personal favorite Jason, it's understandable. I hate that he is played in the one movie I hate the most out of the franchise, which sucks.
Yeah, and he really didn't even play in it that much.
Yeah,
because it's Jason Goes to Hell. He's like taking over other people's bodies.
Yeah,
and it's like the soul of Jason in regular people. And finally, when he gets back into Jason, the last 15 minutes of the movie is pretty cool. But
I'm pretty sure he probably did help do the stunt work for the film and everything.
Oh yeah, he did that, and he played a guard in it as well. You can actually see him. But
and
I regress.
And like I said, Jason X is it's like one of those guilty pleasure movies for me.
Yeah, well,
I mean,
just like what she said to describe him, it's a goofball movie.
Yeah, it's a goofball movie, but the kills in it are fucking fantastic. It does have one of my top favorite Jason kills in it, with the nitroglycerin.
Oh, the smashing of the face.
Yeah, freezing the face and fucking great. Like I said, once again, when I met him, I forgot what the initial. I always try to be like, "Hey, it's very nice to meet you, Mr. Hodder." And he was talking about the guy in front of me. He was making fun of his name. I can't remember what his name was.
Yeah, because he asked you what your name was, and he's like, "Well, I can't make fun of that. That's my dad's name."
Yeah. I was like, well, if it makes you feel any better, my last name is XYZ. I'm not going to tell you people that. You figure it out. And he was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And he turns, I think, his girlfriend, wife, or whatever. He was like, hey, do you know who James is? And she was like, I don't know who the fuck that is. He was like, he's a famous singer.
No, before he said that, he asked the guy behind us. He was like,
oh, yeah,
do
yeah.
you know who this person is?
Yeah, he was like, I think he's a singer, man. He was wearing a Fear Factory shirt. Anyway, you people figure out the last name. But
well, you know what's funny about that? What? I was at work the other day, and when people come in and take away like wood and material or whatever, they got to stop and give me a sheet of paper.
Mm-hmm.
And this motherfucker had your name.
No
so
shit.
You're not the only one.
Oh, of course not.
I thought about taking a picture of it and send it to you through a text and be like, look who just picked up some fucking wood for me, and it's not your dad.
That's funny.
That's funny.
And then Kane told us about how he worked with a guy whose first name was Dick and last name was Seaman.
He was a stunt guy, right?
He was a stunt guy.
Oh, Dick Seaman.
Dick Seaman. I said, are you fucking kidding me? He said, not at all.
And then his best friend was a similar name that had us cracking up, too.
What was it? Dick...
Oh, man.
Dick Buttkiss.
Yep.
Oh, Dick Buttkiss?
Dick Buttkiss.
Well,
yeah.
Isn't he like the football dude?
Well, there's a football dude, but apparently it was like one of his friends. Hell, it might have been the Dick Buttkiss. The Dick Seaman was a new one on me. I said that.
I thought he was fucking with you at first, and
No,
he's like, no, like that's legitimately his name.
I was like, that poor soul. I said his daddy must have hated him. Fuck. Seaman. Anyway, he was very engaging in conversation. I am wearing this boot because my Achilles tendon's fucked up. And he was like, what the fuck happened to you? And I was like, I was trying to respond to a situation, and I'm old and fat and got hurt. And then he asked me about my, occupation and my career and about finding drugs and stuff like that. And he was like, fuck, he just wanted to know all about, like,
Yeah, he kept asking you questions.
The ins and outs of prison, so to speak, the other side of it, everybody sees the inmate side because of television and film and stuff like that, but you really don't hear it from the officer's perspective. So he was asking me about everything.
Well, one of the first projects that Kane Hodder ever worked on was in the early 70s, was a movie called Prison.
Yeah, that's right.
So,
but yeah, that was most of our conversation. I told him that I was here to see him and Doug, and he was like, who do you like better? I was like, you, of course. He was like, you're lying to me. I was like, no. I was wearing my Jason 7 shirt. I was like, look, I'm wearing the Jason 7 shirt. I've got a Jason tattoo and I pointed to it. I was like,
he pulled your vest open too to look at your shirt fully.
Yeah, he was making sure that my shirt was him. He said, flump. He was like, you got me. I was like, yeah. And back in my mind, I'm like, God, I'm glad I don't have a Hellraiser tattoo yet.
Well, and it was so funny. We were just with Doug Bradley, and we were telling him about how you were going to get his tattoo.
Right. Which, honestly, if either one of you two are out there, I love you both. You're both my children. I'm totally kidding. I couldn't pick between them, but he was like, that's cool. I'm glad you had a good time, and hope you continue to have a good time and have a good day. And just very, like, he wanted to know more about me than I could ask about him, like
right.
What you were talking about earlier. Yeah. I was going to ask him maybe like a couple like questions and stuff like that. And I was wearing my New York hat. I was like, I don't even like New York. I wore it because it matches this shirt. And he was like, yeah, they fucking suck. I was like, yeah, they do. And then we talked about Aaron Rodgers for a brief second, and I had to use what little backup knowledge that I had because I haven't been keeping up with sports. And I was like, oh, fuck, what team is he on now? And luckily,
Jets.
Yeah. And then he was like, yeah, I can't wait to see what he does in the Jets. I'm like, yeah, he's going to kill it. I'm pulling for him. I'm not pulling for him.
No, we're not pulling for him.
I'm not pulling for him.
One of the things that I liked about him is just it seemed like he just loved making people laugh and just completely goofing off. Like when we first walked up to his booth, I saw this little toy sitting on the table, and I'm like, is that what I think it is? And it was a little toy swirl of poop.
It was sheet.
And I was like, why is that sitting in front of him? And then you were talking to him, and he picks it up and sniffs it and was like, ooh. So random and just funny. Goofy.
Now, Mr. Hodder was $80 for a autograph and a selfie.
Which wasn't bad.
He was also doing photo ops. So was Mr. Bradley.
And I believe that the Saturday day that we were going, he was doing the Jason X before he becomes Super Jason X photo ops. But today, as we were recording, which is a Sunday, he's doing the 8-bit
NES.
Old Nintendo Jason.
Which would be worth the money to me.
I would like to go online to see actually people that's posted pictures of that to see actually what he looks like.
Well, we actually walked over there yesterday to check out, the photo ops and everything.
Yeah.
And he was like, some of the pictures was him as Jason from Jason X, and it looked pretty good actually. I was very impressed. Terrifier crew, the 3 people from Terrifier were doing a group photo together, and and pretty much all in costume.
Sweet.
I think even the little boy had like his face painted, like he had like that creepy like no pupil look.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how much the special photo ops were, but they normally range anywhere between 50 to 80.
Depending on how many people.
Depending on how many people it is.
Yeah, I'm curious how much the 3 of them together were.
I would guess anywhere from like 130 to 150.
Maybe or less. I don't know.
Totally
just guessing.
Just guessing.
But yeah, the rest of the celebrities, Amanda Wise from A Nightmare on Elm Street was there. and Leah Courtney from Return of the Living Dead was there.
Yeah.
Who else was there? You mentioned the Terrifier crew.
Yeah.
Papa Shango